And in Bulls Parish, the mayor of Mansura has been indicted on a misdemeanor charge. On November 16th, a grand jury delivered a bill of indictment against Mayor Kenneth Pickett Sr. on one count of interfering with a law enforcement investigation. According to the true bill, on or about May 17th, Pickett Sr. intentionally interfered or obstructed a law enforcement officer conducting investigative work at the scene of a crime, attempting to prevent the arrest of his son physically, and made threats to the arresting officer. According to Bulls Parish booking records, Kenneth Pickett Jr. was arrested on May 16th for violation of a protection order. We contacted Mayor Pickett for a statement. He declined to comment until he gets an attorney. His arraignment date is set for December 12th.